Hello, good evening, and welcome back in our continued journey of working with reading skills. More specifically, working with test oriented reading, and even more specifically, working with CAT 20 passages, assuming that we've already done hello, good evening, a lot of basic work beforehand, but all ideas will be repeated, and the key ideas are so central and so repetitive that you can learn it from any of the sessions and then observe it for a couple of days, and those couple of key ideas can make a huge impact in reading. So all those ideas, and very specifically today our idea would be to how to read maybe faster, and especially when the information presented is pretty straightforward. So organize it quickly and move on towards the question, and basically compress time by knowing the nature of information, right? By using the map in the story. So that would be the game. It may be faster. So the passage was posted earlier. Let me post it on Telegram thingy as well. And the passage will also be available on the screen so you can read along with me. But what are the ideas that we are going to use or have been using, or the ideas that are needed for better speed, better accuracy, higher scores, higher clarity, etc., are all on the screen right now. Especially for the exam point of view, I want to start with a quick preview, right? I want to read just a few sentences from across the passage to get a very quick idea of what the passage is about. So, this is the first paragraph of the passage. I hope it is readable. Can you take maybe 30 seconds and very quickly tell me what is the passage mota generally about, right? A very broad approximation of what the central idea might be, right? This is the first paragraph only. Take a quick look at it and essentially just look for what word is repeating the most, right? Repeating words tell a story. And that's not a long activity. That's I'm not reading slowly. I'm just looking for a few words repeating across the paragraph, right? And that is to help my brain get warmed up, maybe notice a few obvious markers of information which help us in processing the information. So I start reading, maybe I read the first sentence. Aggression is any behavior that is directed towards injuring, harming. The sentence is not challenging. Maybe the idea is aggression. How do I confirm it? I'll jump to the last line. The first variable is the aggressor. If the word is repeating even two times, I can be I can start thinking at that direction. Also, I've learned at least this much in my reading ideas, right? If I see a first, let me look for a second, and let me look for a third. Okay, then let me quickly read this also. The first variable is the aggressor. The second is the social situation or circumstance in which the aggressive act occurs. Okay, so Ram kicked Sham. Ram is the aggressor, and Ram kicked Sham in the market or in a cricket match or at home because of some conflict. That is a social situation. And the third variable is the target, who got attacked, right? And in this story, Shan got attacked. Now, can you tell me what is approximately the passage, the overall idea? Right? So, aggression, definitely aggression. So, just a few words here and there, and you get a reasonable idea of what the passage is about. And because it's not challenging information, and we have seen certain cases of challenging information where you read a sentence and you do not understand, this is not that kind of a passage, right? So my reading and mapping is going to be fairly smooth and easy compared to those passages. So aggression is any behavior that is directed towards injuring or harming or inflicting pain on other living being or groups of beings. Ideally, the best thing would be if I assume that you have already read the passage and I point only towards the let's say the salient features, right? Easy enough definition. Generally, the victim of the aggression must wish to avoid such behavior in order for it to be considered true aggression. Okay, easy enough. Aggression is also categorized, and I see categorized in other places also. Aggression into three separate areas. Categorization groups. Okay, so it's about analyzing aggression and then categorizing them into various boxes, right? According to ultimate intent, that means what is the purpose of aggression. Aggression is also categorized. So I see there is a hostile aggression, and then I also see there is an instrumental aggression. So there is a broad idea of aggression, and then we are going into quick definitions. Okay, what is hostile aggression? Hostile aggression is an aggressive act that results from anger and is intended to inflict pain or injury because of that anger. So when you get angry and you attack someone, that is hostile aggression. Easy enough, but my brain should be saying, okay, broad idea, aggression, this is a specific definition, just located here, and the idea is over. Instrumental aggression is an aggressive act that is regarded as a means to an end other than pain or injury. I'm sure everybody has seen a lot of crime TV shows where the narcos will kidnap someone and torture them to get information out, or CIA torturing terrorist in the Abu Ghraib or the Guantanamo Bay scandals, right? So you are punishing someone or attacking someone just to get information out of them. You're not really personally angry with them or anything. Okay, and then this is your fundamental of reading, right? Picking on such conjunctions. For example, and if my brain is paying attention to this, for example, I know this is the same idea now with a specific story to explain it further, more detailed out. So, for example, I also use an example to illustrate the idea, right? An enemy combatant may be subjected to torture in order to extract useful intelligence. So mapped out quickly, the key idea is what is the meaning of instrumental aggression, because then the idea would be very easy to remember. Okay, great. So I'm reading, it's easy reading, and I'm practicing my key reading ideas, because this is where speed gets built. This is where you're compressing information. This is where you realize, okay, this is not a big deal, but this is, right, the definition is. The concept of aggression is very broad and includes many categories of behavior. Verbal aggression, I can go faster, street crime, child abuse, spouse abuse, group conflict. Oh, so many types of aggression. A number of theories and models of aggression have arisen. So there are lots of models, but there is no specific information. That's why I can go faster, right? These diverse forms of behavior, and these models tend to be categorized according to their specific focus. The most common system of categorization is three areas: the first, the second, the third, which I had already read in my preview, right? Because the first, second, third is so easy to spot and just quickly read. So I know we are talking about aggression, and the three variables or three key areas of focus of study are aggressor, the social situation, and who is the victim. Are we okay so far? And now we have 100% read the passage anyway, and understood the how pieces fit together. Why has the author mentioned the enemy combatant story? So I know the overall idea is not the enemy combatant. The overall idea is to make a point that aggression can also be based on you like a goal, right? That it's not that I'm angry, I just want to get something done. Are we okay so far? Hopefully we are. So this was the first paragraph. Very easy to read, very easy, reasonably easy to organize as well, right? So this is the kind of passage that you should be doing, definitely getting 100% marks and doing it in short time as well. Because the thing is, if you read it like this and you have it well organized in your brain, the second reading may not be required, or the access to memory is faster, right? Better comprehension is also better memory. You will see, if you have done a passage well, like you have understood it 100% well, you will see that even 3 weeks later you'll have a picture of the passage. But if you haven't got that clarity, even half an hour later you'll not be able to say what the passage was about, right? So second paragraph, this is right now this is too much color, so maybe okay, let's start with this is the second paragraph in the story. Focus is on the factor that lead to an individual or group to commit aggressive acts. So So remember there were three categories earlier: the focus on the aggressor, the social situation, or the victim. Here saying focusing on the aggressor, right? I should have highlighted this. Regarding theories and research on the aggressor, let me take you back. The first variable is the aggressor himself. The aggressor, maybe the doer of the violence, right? So the I now know that out of those three ideas, I'm picking up one and then going into the detail of that. So in research on the aggressor, that was variable number one. The fundamental focus is on the factors that lead to the act of aggression. Oh wow, so easily I can find a flow here. Three categories. In that category, what is the reason behind the aggressor? And now, just to save time, and maybe especially for those people who have already read the passage by themselves, I'll just highlight what are those factors. Results of inborn biological factors. I'll go to the Freud story in a second. Humans evolved with an abnormally low neural inhibition of aggressive impulses compared to other species. This is another factor. Humans possess a powerful instinct for property accumulation and territorialism. Human beings want property, and that is also a major reason for the aggression. Then there are hormonal factors also appear to play a significant role in fostering aggressive tendencies. Once again, for example, and the rest of the information is about the specific hormone testosterone, right? This is just a quick run through the paragraph. I will go in the details as well. We'll have fun with the information now. We learn about cool people who have shaped this modern century. But if I've read it already, this will be my quick snapshot. Okay, this whole paragraph is about the reasons of aggression, and he says inborn biological factors. Humans have low control. They want property also, and then hormonally also there is a problem, right? So that's the broad view. So I'm guessing we are okay so far. We are going well. Now I'll go for the detail as well. Now this is for somebody who's not read it, who's uncomfortable with the idea. At the most basic level, some argue that aggressive urges and actions are the result of inborn biological factors. So in fact, all of these three factors were inborn biological. Sigmund Freud proposed that all individuals are born with a death instinct that predisposes us to a variety of aggressive behaviors. Inborn biological instinct is there, including suicide. So, suicide is also an act of aggression, and mental illness, possibly due to unhealthy or unnatural suppression of aggressive urges. So, same idea that humans have a death wish or a death instinct. That's why we do a lot of aggressive behavior, and that also causes mental illness. Other influential. Now, when I read a word like this, other, that also tells me this was one idea. Now I'm moving into other ideas. Or if I had just picked this, I would have said, okay, there is another idea before that had showed up. Other influential perspectives supporting a biological basis for aggression conclude that humans have low neural inhibition. Inhibition means control or shame or restriction. Low inhibition, that means no control. Then humans also possess property instinct. It is proposed that this instinct accounts for hostile behaviors ranging from minor street crime to world wars. Which instinct? This powerful instinct for property accumulation and territorialism. Hormonal factors also appear to play a significant role. Now, what is the hormone? The hormone is testosterone. I'm just compressing information for you now. You can read it later, or hopefully you've read it earlier. Testosterone is problematic. They saw that when men and the criminally aggressive people had higher level of testosterone across men and women, and generally between men and women, men are more aggressive, and we have also known that men have more testosterone, so maybe testosterone is to blame. That's like the quick summary. You can read it in your own sweet time. With that, we have done both the paragraphs, and I have a very clear picture of what ideas, what the whole passage is about. In fact, I have everything. I've read everything, right? And it should not take too much time. So now I want to move towards the questions. maybe 300%. So question number 1. So now if you notice that the passage wasn't challenging at all, so maybe the challenge will be the pressure situation, the pressure cooker of the test, and your reading stamina, that can you still continue to read smoothly. Now an enemy combatant may be subjected. So the moment I read this, I remember this is about instrumental aggression, which is about aggression to get to a goal, not because of anger, right? So enemy combatant may be subjected to torture in order to extract useful intelligence, though those inflicting the torture may have no real feelings of anger or animosity towards their subject. Which one of the following best explicates the larger point being made by the author here? I already know the larger point because I know that for example was such a clear giveaway. Let me take you back there. This for example, why is this example? The example is to make this point: instrumental aggression regarded as a means to an end. That means you have a goal in mind. To achieve that goal, you want to do this. So I already know the idea. Can you please pick which choice is the correct choice? First by yourself, and then we'll do it together. Right, so notice, if you've done a lot of RC workshops already, notice that this for example, for instance, the general specific is 50% of the questions, right? It is 100% of the comprehension and clarity, and there are so many questions around this basic idea, and that's why chapter number 1 or video number 1 in the whole story of our reading comprehension is that general specific. Master that, repeat it over and over again till it's part of your nature, right? Now the thing is, some of you will get lost by this word, some of you will be lost simply by reading too much long sentences, but otherwise it should not be too much of a challenge. Everybody got it right. In certain kinds of aggression, inflicting pain is not the objective and is no more than a utilitarian means to achieve another end. So also notice this sentence, read it again. In certain kinds of aggression, inflicting pain is not the objective and is no more than a utilitarian means to achieve another end. And compare it to the original sentence. Instrumental aggression is an aggressive act that is regarded as means to an end. So there was a simple means to an end, and here it's with more words like utilitarian, etc. So again, that might confuse some people, but otherwise the idea is very, very clear that the answer should be option 1. Now for me, I would not even look at the other choices because the idea is very, very absolutely clear to me, but in the pressure situation, career is on stake or whatever, best to go through all options as well, right? Because unless you are very clear with the idea, right? When I say clear, you need to know what clear means. Meghna, try out the RC course, the VA RC course. That's the, because I don't have a quick solution or a quick fix. But otherwise, the ideas are the same. It's just that the course will do has a lot more practice on a brainwashing level almost, right? So that the habit becomes ingrained. Especially if you now do those 100 passages in 25 days, maybe 3 passages a day. There's a lot of drilling happening. The same kind of drilling that is happening right now, right? Just question after question, repeating these key ideas. All of the following statements can be seen as logically implied by the arguments of the passage except. So again, I have a map of the passage. Let me go through the options. Because this is an except question, I will need to go through everything because 3 will be logically implied, 1 will not be. Freud's theory of aggression proposes that aggression results from the suppression of aggressive urges. Is that true? Freud's theory of aggression proposes that aggression results from the suppression of aggressive urges. Let me check other options meanwhile. The Freudian theory of suicide as self-inflicted aggression implies that an aggressive act need not be sought to be avoided in order for it to be considered aggression. Now, how do I know this is implied in the passage? Right? How do I confirm that this information is implied in the passage? And this is where maybe it will get difficult, the act of inference, right? The making deductions. So, stay with me, stay with this option. This is important to learn and be very clear about. He says the Freudian theory of suicide as self inflicted aggression implies that an aggressive act need not be sought to be avoided. What is all of this? So, if I go to the beginning of the paragraph, it said generally the victim of the aggression must wish to avoid such behavior in order for it to be considered true aggression. So, if you're trying to attack someone, the other person must be trying to run if you want to really call it aggression. But in the case of suicide, the victim is also you, and there is no avoiding it, though there is an aggression. I hope we are getting this contrary views in place, right? One says that till you run, till the victim tries to run, there is no aggression. Later, I read even suicide is a form of aggression. So, a little bit of a logic game going on. Since suicide is also aggression, the running away definition is not really true, because in suicide there is no running away, right? The victim does not run away. So, that is what is happening in this. Read it again. Aggressive act need not be sought to be avoided in order for it to be considered aggression, because that was the old definition. So, can it be logically implied by the passage? I can say yes, it can be logically implied. Please tell me if you are getting this game that we just played, right? And what we mean by inference. Tell me yes or no. So 2 can be logically deduced, and I wanted to spend some time also, because two ideas are, one sentence was in the first paragraph, the next connection piece was in the second, and these two are connected, and you have to supply a little bit of logic work, right? So this is fun activity as well. A common theory of aggression is that it is a result of an abnormally low neural regulation of testosterone. This is for the poor reader, and this is my easy choice again, which makes me not think about this or even check it, because this is just wrong. Why? Neural regulation was one idea and testosterone was another idea. Let me take you back to the map. This was the part, right? Humans evolved with an abnormally low neural inhibition of aggressive impulses. Then there was another idea in between. Then it said hormonal factors also appear to play. So this is for the person who's not paying attention, who's not watching the ball. He's playing cricket and thinking of something else. Ki, oh, when the match is over, no, I will buy a Mercedes or something. Or what will my manager say? Or what is Anushka doing right now? So he's not looking at the ball, and he's just confused, and he's probably being lazy as well. Don't feel bad if you are that person. But I hope you see the point again. So, neural regulation I saw, testosterone I saw. Does that mean this is the answer? Actually, in this case, it means it is the answer. But can it be logically implied? No, there is no connection to prove this. So, I'm good to go. Are we okay with this? Try out question number 3, it's already on your screen. The author identifies 3 essential factors according to which theories of aggression are most commonly categorized. What a sitter! If you had only read that last line, previewed and tried this question, you could have done it. What I mean by this is, let's say if you have only 3 minutes left, can you try a preview and can you run through the questions and find 1 mark? Yes. So, in that middle of all that hoopla about, oh my god, the toughest exam and etc., this is a very easy question. 3 essential factors according to which theories of aggressions are most commonly categorized. What are those 3 factors? I can take you to the screenshot, like the data again. Categorization based on three key variables that are present whenever any aggressive act of set of acts is committed. The first, the second, the third. Quickly read it and then go to the choices. Correct. This should be obvious, right? So this is the kind of passage that you can go through very fast because the information was easy, the words were easy, the sentences were not too challenging, and it was very well organized as well. There were no opinions or no side digressions as such. So definitely an easy passage to do and get 4 out of 4, right? No issues, no confusion at all. Last question. The author discusses all of the following arguments in the passage except, because it's an except, I'll have to check all of the options. Aggression in most societies is kept under control through moderating the death instinct identified by Freud. I think this is the answer. Why? Because I have clarity. I remember Freud said there is a death instinct, but I don't remember anything about societies keeping aggression under control at all. No mention of society trying to keep aggression under control. So if somebody is choosing this as ki, okay, no, this was mentioned in the passage, it's just poor reading. That's all. And how to fix it is also okay. Just beginning is to just read a lot, invest a lot in words. But if you are that city person who's okay with reading, who's been reading the newspaper for a while, then it's just poor reading, right? Because I can't blame like a person who's in a faraway rural area whose school is very poor, say you are poor at reading. No, that is a design society issue. Sorry, long. But I hope we have the answer here. Right, so we have seen, I think, at least two passages were very, very easy. They can be done. This whole discussion with all of these details and revision is taking a total of 25, 27 minutes. In your brain, it should be 3, 4 minutes, right, for such passage. And for those of you who are good at reading, who already like reading, who have a bookshelf and they've been collecting books and they sit at a bus stand and read books, for them reading should be a short nail down section, because for you I can improve the comprehension and the accuracy very, very quickly, right? For somebody who's uncomfortable with the language is the real challenge there then, right? So that would be the, so that's it for this session. I will see you really soon with the next VARC workout, and soon with the QA revision workouts as well, maybe hopefully by 1st October or so. So this is it for the day. I'll post the next challenge on the group again, and the next class is going to be at the same time tomorrow. Okay, so for those who have the schedule going. Okay, so bye.